Hello everyone, welcome you all to the microcontroller class. Today we will be having session 5 of Unit 1 8051 architecture. And the today's content of discussion is register structure of 8051. In the previous class we have learnt the block diagram as well as the pin diagram of 8051. So in the today's class we shall see what are the various registers and how they are organized inside the 8051. So coming to the block diagram of registers of 8051. These are the various internal registers which are available in 8051. So here in the right side we can observe that the internal ROM is available. We know that the internal ROM size in 8051 is 4 kilobytes. 4 kilobyte of internal ROM is there. 4K. 4 kilobyte of ROM memory, that is read only memory, ROM. So the range of read-only memory will be from 000 to FFH. So if we convert this FFH into its equivalent decimal value, then you are going to get 4096. So 4096 you are going to get. We can do the conversion. We have already learned how to do the conversion of hexadecimal number into decimal number. So 4096 is nothing but our 4 kilobytes. Approximately it is equal to 4 kilobyte. Therefore the internal ROM size will be 4 kilobytes. And then we have the internal RAM memory. So random access memory. We know that in 8051, the available internal RAM will be of 128 bytes. 128 bytes of RAM is available. Random access memory. So this is the internal RAM size. So 128 byte of RAM is there. And this 128 of RAM is divided into different groups. So for example, if we consider here, the range will be from 0 to 7F. So if we convert 7F into its equivalent decimal value, then you are going to get 128 bytes. So we know that F. So how to do this conversion? This is nothing but F into 16 to the power 0. This is 16. So here we have 16. So F into 16. This is how we need to do the conversion. 56 F into 16 power 0 plus, so 7 multiplied by 16 power 1. So if you calculate this answer, 16 power 0, it becomes 1. That is the F is nothing but the 15. And 16 into 7 plus this 15, it gives 128 bytes. 128 byte of RAM is available. And this 128 of RAM is grouped into, is available in the different groups. For example, so 4 register banks are there. So we can observe here, this is the register bank 0 from 00 to 07. From 00 address, this is the address from 00 to 07. We call this as the bank 0. Register bank 0 is there from here to here. And this is called as register bank 1. That is nothing but 08 to 0F. 08 to 0F is register bank 1. And 10 to 7F is register bank 2. And 18 to 1F is register bank 3. So totally 4 register banks are available here. Totally 4 register banks are available. So each register bank, it consists of 7 different registers. So R0 to R7. For example, if you take the register bank 0, here you can observe that inside the register bank 0, 8 registers are available. That is R0, R1, R2 and so on up to R7. So R0 to R7, totally 8 registers are available. Similarly, in the bank 1, the similar number of registers are available, R0 to R7. Again here also R0 to R7 are available, and again here also R0 to R7 are available. So it means that each bank consists of 8 registers which are named as register 0 to register 7. So each bank is having 8 registers. So totally how many banks are there? Totally 8 banks, 4 banks are there. 4 banks multiplied by, and each bank consists of 8 registers. So it is nothing but 4 into 8. So 4 into 8 is nothing but 32, which is nothing but 32. So totally 32 registers are available here. So 32 registers are available in 8051. So these are the these registers can be used as for the general purpose register, like to store some temporary data while doing some operations. So totally 4 banks are there: bank 0 to bank 3, bank 0, bank 1, bank 2 and bank 3, 4 banks, and each bank contains 8 registers. What are the 8 registers? R0 to R7 each bank. So it is 4 banks multiplied by 8 registers. So totally 32 registers are available, and each register is capable of storing 1 byte of data. Means here you can able to store 1 byte, here you can able to store 1 byte. Like that, in each register bank we can able to store 1 byte of data. 1 byte means 8 bit of data can be stored. Next, from address 18H to 1FH. So 18F to 1HF is the register bank 3. Then after that we are having 20 to 7F in this range. So from 20 to 7F we call it as the bit address area, or we call this as bit addressable area. So 20 to 2F means it is 2F minus 20. So 2F. So if you want to calculate the total total memory from here to here, it is nothing but 2F minus 20. We need to include 20 also. So F minus 0 is nothing but F, and 2 minus 2 is 0. So we know what is F. F is nothing but 15 in decimal. So F is 15 in decimal. So 20 to 2F, that is nothing but 15 plus 1 extra you need to take. That because we are counting from 20 to 2F. So plus 1 we need to add for this. That is 15 plus 1. Total it becomes 16. So totally from here to here in this range, 16 memory locations are available. So each of size 1 byte. So each memory location. So how we are having R0, R1, R2, in the same way we are having 1 slot, 2nd slot, 3rd slot, 4th slot, 5th slot, and so on up to 16 slots are available, and each slot is capable of storing 1 byte of data. That is nothing but 8 bit of data can be stored. Why this is called as bit addressable memory? This memory location is called as bit addressable because each bit of the memory is having certain address. So usually for the memory location, 1 byte is having address. For example, if I take the register R0, what is the address of R0? 00 is the address. Or if you take the address of R7, what is its address? 07 is the address. And similarly 0F is there. 0F is the 8th register of register bank 1. That is its address is 0F. Like that, each slot is having one address. That is called as byte address. So whatever the address we are observing here, these are called as byte address. Whereas in this memory location, we are having byte address as well as a bit address. Bit address means, so if I take this as one slot, and this one slot is again divided into 8 bits. Suppose I will take this as one slot. I will take this as the one slot. This slot I will take the first slot, and this slot is again divided into 8 bits. 3, 4 and so on up to 8. So each slot can able to store a single bit. Either this data can be 0 or this data can be 1. So that's why it is called as 1 bit. And this is having one particular address, and this bit is having one address, and this bit is having one address. Means what? Each bit is having one address. That is the reason why it is called as bit address. What is the total address of this 8 bits? The total address of 8 bit is 20. 20 is the address of the 1 byte, all the bits. Address of 1 byte or the address of this slot is equal to 20. So if I access the memory location by using this address 20, you need to access all the 8 bits which are available here. Otherwise, we can able to access, or we can able to modify the data which is available in each slot by using its bit address. ಒಂದೊಂದು ಬಿಟ್ಗಳಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ಒನ್ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್. ಈ ಬಿಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಈ ಬಿಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಬರೀ ಈ ಬಿಟ್ಟನ್ನು ಮಾತ್ರ ನಾವು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಅಥವಾ ಈ ಬಿಟ್ನ ಮಾತ್ರ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಈ ಬಿಟ್ನ ಮಾತ್ರ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಪಾಸಿಬಲ್. ಸೊ ಹೌ ಟು ಡೂ ದಟ್? ಸೊ ಫಾರ್ ದಟ್ ವಿ ಶುಡ್ ನೋ ದ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಬಿಟ್. ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ this memory location, this area of memory is called as a bit addressable. This is byte addressable as well as a bit addressable. Byte addressable means this entire memory location is having one address. This is called as 20. So when you access the data by using this address, all the bits can be accessed. All the 8 bits can be accessed. That's why it is called as byte address. Otherwise, we can also able to access the each bit. That's why it is called as bit addressable. So total ನಮಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬಿಟ್ ಅಡ್ರೆಸಬಲ್ ಮೆಮೊರಿ ಲೊಕೇಶನ್ ಇದೆ? 16 ಬಿಟ್ ಅಡ್ರೆಸಬಲ್ ಮೆಮೊರಿ ಲೊಕೇಶನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಟೋಟಲ್ 16 ಬಿಟ್ ಅಡ್ರೆಸಬಲ್ ಮೆಮೊರಿ ಲೊಕೇಶನ್ಸ್. ಸೊ 16 ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲೈಡ್ ಬೈ 8, 16 ಸ್ಲಾಟ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಒಂದು ಸ್ಲಾಟಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ 8 ಬಿಟ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ದ total number of bits which are available. 16 slots are there. So this is called as one slot. This is called as second slot. Then we have second slot. Then we have third slot. Like that, 16 slots are there. And each slot is having 8 bit. That is 16 into 8. So that gives the total number of bits which are available in this memory location. So 16 byte of memory is used as a bit addressable memory location. And then from 30 to 7F. So 30 to 7F is called as general purpose area. So this memory location can be used for the temporary storage of the data or the memory locations, or for any operations we can able to use this memory location, that is called as general purpose area. So totally 128 byte of memory is divided into 3 slots. So we can come to know that, we can conclude that. So the total size of RAM memory is 128 byte. 128 byte is the total RAM size. And how we are going to divide this 128 byte? So out of this 128 byte, first 32 bits, that is nothing but are grouped into registers in the different blanks. So totally 4 banks are there. Bank 0, bank 1, bank 2, bank 3, 4 banks, and each bank contains 8 registers. So totally 32 registers are available. That is nothing but 32 bytes. 32 bytes are available here from 00 to 1FH. 00 to 1FH, totally 32 bytes are there. And again 20 to 2F. 20 to 2F, I have told you, totally 16 bytes. 16 bytes of memory location is bit addressable memory location. So 32 plus 16, it becomes 48. 128 minus 48, remaining is 80. So 80 plus 48, this becomes 128. So remaining 80 bytes of memory is available as a general purpose area. So total 128 byte of memory will be divided into 3 groups like this. So 32 bytes of memory will be organized as registers in the different banks, in the 4 different banks. And 16 byte of memory is called as bit addressable memory location. And the remaining 80 byte of memory is called as general purpose memory location. So this is the organization of the RAM memory in 8051. And then we have another registers. They are called as the special function registers. So these are the special function registers we are having. We have register A, register B, IP register. So register A and register B, these two registers are used for general purpose operation. So here in this box, whatever shown in the left side, this shows the size of the register. This shows the size. What is the size of the register? So here 8 means it is a 8-bit register. That is what it means. And here this shows the address. So right side shows the address. The address of this slot is E0 star. That is nothing but E0. E0 is the address of the register A. So where actually these special function registers are available, we call this as SFRs. SFR. SFR means special function registers. So special function registers will be having the address from 80 to FFH. So in this memory location range, these registers are located. 80F in the 7F. 7F FF. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ 7F ವರೆಗೆ ನಮಗೆ RAM memory ಆಯಿತು. 7F in the next value is nothing but 80H in hexadecimal. In hexadecimal after 7F, the next value is 80H. 7FH and 80H, 81, 82, 83 and so on up to FFH. So from 80 to FFH, this memory location is called as a special function registers memory. So in this memory location, special function registers are located. So these are all the special function registers. Whatever we can observe in the middle of this area, So all these are called as special function register. So here the register A as well as the register B can be usually used for the mathematical operation, and each of size 8-bit. We can observe these two are 8-bit size, and the address of register A is E0 and the address of register B is F0, and the star mark is indicated here. We can observe that F0 star is there and E0 star is there. What this star mark indicates is, this star mark indicates that the particular register is byte addressable as well as bit addressable. This is the meaning. Byte addressable as well as bit addressable. Whatever the register which contains this star, it means that we can access the entire byte or we can access only the particular bits of these particular registers. So wherever the stars are there, that indicates that it is both byte accessible as well as the bit accessible. Star ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೆ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. For example, this doesn't have a star here. 81 is the address and there is no star here. This is the stack pointer. It means that this is only byte addressable. Byte addressable ಅಂತಂದ್ರೇನು, ಎಂಟೈರ್ 8 ಬಿಟ್ಸ್ನ ಕೂಡ ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಮೆಮೊರಿ ಲೊಕೇಶನ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಒಂದೊಂದು ಬಿಟ್ನ ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಬರಲ್ಲ. ಎಸ್ಕಾನ್ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಎಸ್ಕಾನ್ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಇದೆ, ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ 98 ಇದೆ, ಸ್ಟಾರ್ ಇದೆ. ಅಂದರೆ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಟೋಟಲ್ ಬಿಟ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ? 8 ಬಿಟ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಟೋಟಲ್. ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಗಿವನ್ ದ ಸೈಜ್ ಈಸ್ 8 ಬಿಟ್ಸ್. 8 ಬಿಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೇನು, ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ 8 ಬಿಟ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಈ ಥರ 1 2 3 ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸೋ ಆನ್ ಅಪ್ ಟು 8. So what is the address of the entire 8 bits here? The address of entire 8 bit is 98. So suppose if I access the memory location 98H, 98H memory location access ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ 8 ಬಿಟ್ಗಳು ಕೂಡ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ for 98H. Otherwise I can also access each particular bit of this register. ಒಂದೊಂದು ಬಿಟ್ಟನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಈ ಬಿಟ್ಟನ್ನು ಮಾತ್ರ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಈ ಬಿಟ್ನ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಈ ಬಿಟ್ನ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಅಥವಾ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸೊ ಆನ್ ಅಪ್ ಟು 8 ಬಿಟ್ ಈ ಬಿಟ್ನ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಬಿಟ್ಟನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ದೆನ್ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಬಿಟ್ ಅಡ್ರೆಸಬಲ್. ಸೊ ಸಿನ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ ಈಸ್ ದೇರ್, ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಬೈಟ್ ಅಡ್ರೆಸಬಲ್, ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಬೈಟ್ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಬಿಟ್ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್. ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ಬಿಟ್ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಹಿಯರ್. ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಬಿಟ್ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಲೊಕೇಶನ್ ಹಿಯರ್? ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ 98.0. 98.0 is the bit address of this memory location. What is the bit address of this? 98.1, 98.2 and so on up to 98.7. The last memory location of this register is 98.7. So if you use the address 98.7, it indicates that that is the 8th bit of SCON register. Okay, so like that the register can be either accessed byte wise and all the 8 bits can be accessed, or I can access each individual bits. You will like this. So this is possible in 8051 microcontroller. Okay, now register A and register B, they are called as a math register, which is commonly used for the mathematical operation. And IP and IE registers are there. So both are of size 8 bit and the address of IP is B8 and the address of IE is A8. So here these two registers are also 8 bit size and they can be used for the interrupt operation. IP is nothing but interrupt priority and IE is nothing but interrupt enable. So we will discuss what are the functions of IP and IE when we are going to discuss the interrupts of 8051 microcontroller. And then we have TMOD register. So the TMOD register is there here. So this is also of 8 bit register and the address is 89. The address, the star is not there here. It indicates that this is only a byte addressable. Bit address illa idike, byte address matra access ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. TMOD register, there is no star here. TMOD is the timer mode control register and TCON register is there, that is timer control register. So timer ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ we will come to know what is the function of TMOD and TCON register. So totally 2 timers are there. In the beginning class we have seen in the while discussing the features of 8051, we came to know that 2 timers are available in 8051. One is timer 0, another one is called as timer 1. Both are of size 16 bits. Each timer is of size 16 bits, but they can be divided into 2 8-bit registers. This can be divided into 2 8-bit registers and that is called as TH0 and TL0. TH0 plus TL0, it makes T0. and similarly T1 is divided into two 8-bit register, that is nothing but TH1 and TL1, timer low 1, timer high 1. So totally this is 8-bit plus 8-bit, totally 16-bit it is. And similarly TL0, TH0, L stands for low and H stands for high, timer low 0, timer high 0. So 8-bit plus 8-bit, totally it makes 16-bit. So to control these two registers, these control registers are required, TMOD and TCON. These two are the control registers for these two timers, T0 and T1. We will come to know what is the function of timers in the future classes. So here, these are the 4 timers which are available, TH0, TL0, TH1 and TL1. All are byte accessible. No star mark is there, all are byte accessible, and each is of size 8 bits. TH0, TL0 and TH1 and TL1. And then we have serial data registers. So these are related to timer bar counter registers. These two are the interrupt and these two are the timer control registers. Whereas the next registers are for the serial data transmission. So whenever the 8051 wants to transmit any data to the external device, then the serial data registers are required. So here SCON register is there, that is called as serial control register, and it is of size 8-bit, and it is both byte as well as a bit accessible, and its address is 98. And similarly S buffer register is there, we call this as SBUF, serial buffer register. Buffering means storing. ಡೇಟಾನ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಈ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಸೀರಿಯಲ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಮಿಷನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ. ಇದನ್ನು ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ one register we are going to use, that is called as serial control register, and the address of S buffer is 99 and it is only byte accessible. Next register is PCON, that is the power control register. So this is also used for the serial communication purpose, and the address is 87 and it is an 8-bit register. One more register is there, special function register, that is called as PSW. We call this as a program status word. So this program status word register will going to hold the status of the results of some of the operation. For example, after subtraction of two numbers, if the result is 0, I am having number x and number y. I will do the subtraction of these two numbers. So if these two numbers are same, then the result, the subtracted result will be equal to 0. So when the result is 0, then one flag will be raised. ಈ ಸ್ಟೇಟಸ್ನ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ. ಅಥವಾ ಎರಡು ನಂಬರ್ನ ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಕ್ಯಾರಿ ಬಂದರೆ ದೆನ್ ದ ಸ್ಟೇಟಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ಡ್. ಈ ಥರ ಆಪರೇಷನ್ನ ಸ್ಟೇಟಸ್ನ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಐದರ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾಥಮೆಟಿಕಲ್ ಆಪರೇಷನ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಲಾಜಿಕಲ್ ಆಪರೇಷನ್ ಆರ್ ಎನಿ ಅದರ್ ಆಪರೇಷನ್, ಟು ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ದ ಸ್ಟೇಟಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಎನಿ ಆಫ್ ದ ಆಪರೇಷನ್ಸ್, the program status word register is used, and this is also of 8-bit register and its address is D0. And the next SFR is special function register is the stack pointer. So stack pointer is used as a pointer memory to the stack memory. So some part of the RAM memory, this is the entire RAM we are having, and out of this entire RAM, certain region of the RAM memory. For example, if I take this slot, this region I will take. So the region from here to here will be reserved for the stack. The user can be able to change this. It is not necessary to use only this slot. We can use this slot also, or we can use this slot, or we can use the entire slot from here to here. User has the right to modify this, modify the stack memory. User can decide what should be the stack memory, and for this stack memory, ಈ stack memory ನಲ್ಲಿ ಡೇಟಾನ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. Memory means what? Here we are going to store the data in the memory. And for example, ನನಗಿಲ್ಲಿ 11 ಅಂತ ಡೇಟಾ ಇತ್ತು ಇಲ್ಲಿ. If I want to access this data, then what I should know its address. Let us assume that the address of this will be equal to 90H. 90H is the address, and this address will be holded by SP, stack pointer. Now the stack pointer contains this address 90H. What does it mean? Stack pointer means it is always a memory address. This is used as a pointer to the stack memory. Pointer ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಇದು ಈ ಥರ ಪಾಯಿಂಟರ್ನಾಗಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಡೇಟಾ ಸಿಗಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ಇದರ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು. ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಯಾವುದ್ರೊಳಗಿರುತ್ತೆ? ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟರ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. This is for the stack memory it is. If the memory is a stack memory, then the pointer is a stack pointer. Stack memory is nothing but a part of the RAM memory. Random access memory, we know it is a temporary memory. So therefore stack memory is also a temporary memory. And the address of each slot will be held by the stack pointer. So at a time, the stack pointer holds only one address. And then we have these two registers, program counter and the data pointer. So this program counter, it has no address. This is the only register of 8051 which does not contains any address, which doesn't have any address. That is called as a program counter. No address is for the program counter, and it is a 16-bit register here. What is the function of the program counter? Program counter holds the address of the ROM memory. Idru address, idu ROM memory. 00 to FFF ide. Totally 4 kilobytes of ROM is there. So this size is 4 kilobyte of ROM. And the address. So this is nothing but the address. The first address is 000. What is the next address? 001. And the next address is 002. And next address is 003. And so on. And so on up to FFF. To hold this address, we are going to use the program counter. Now, program counter, these are the various slots which are available. Slot 1, slot 2, slot 3. And each slot is of 8-bit size. And the pointer for this memory is nothing but the program counter. So, program counter is the pointer for the internal ROM. Stack pointer is the pointer for the stack memory. How the stack memory is there? Stack memory is there as a pointer for the stack memory. In the same way, program counter is used as a pointer to the ROM memory. The to internal ROM memory, we are going to use the program counter. And the size of this program counter is 16 bytes. 16 bits. 16 bits is the size of this program counter. And then we have data pointer. DPTR we call. DPTR. DPTR. The first letter is D. D stands for data pointer here. DPTR. So DPTR is a 16-bit register, and this is divided into two 8-bit registers. One is called as DPH, another one is called as DPL. So it is not DLP. This is called as DPL, data pointer low. Data pointer high and data pointer low. Each of size 8 bits. So 8 plus 8 totally 16 bit. So this DPTR can be used. It can be used as a pointer register to the external memory. For example, if I use the external data memory or the external ROM memory. External. Whenever I am going to use the external memory. External memory anta andre eno microcontroller inda ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಇರಬೇಕು. So ಇದು ನಮ್ಮ microcontroller. This is our 8051 microcontroller. 8051 microcontroller. And inside this 8051 microcontroller, all these register banks and these special function registers as well as the internal ROM is available. ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದ್ರೊಳಗಡೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ. ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟರ್ನಲ್ ಮೆಮೊರಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಹೊರಗಡೆಯಿಂದ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಾವೇನಾದ್ರು ಒಂದು ಮೆಮೊರಿನ ಹೊರಗಡೆಯಿಂದ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಕಂಟ್ರೋಲರ್ಗೆ. ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟರ್ನಲ್ ಮೆಮೊರಿ. ಐದರ್ ಇಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ರಾಮ್ ಮೆಮೊರಿ ಆರ್ ಇಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಎ ರ್ಯಾಮ್ ಮೆಮೊರಿ. ರಾಮ್ ಮೆಮೊರಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಕೋಡ್ ಮೆಮೊರಿ. ರ್ಯಾಮ್ ಮೆಮೊರಿ ಇಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ದ ಡೇಟಾ ಮೆಮೊರಿ, ಡೇಟಾ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ. ಈ ಥರ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟರ್ನಲ್ ಮೆಮೊರಿ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಇದು ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಇದು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟರ್ನಲ್ ಮೆಮೊರಿ, ಈ ಮೆಮೊರಿ ಇದು external memory. Then to access each location, for example, I want to access the data available inside the external memory. If I want to access this data or if I want to access this data, then what I should know? I must know its address, and this address will be stored in the DPTR. Therefore, DPTR is used as a pointer memory to this external memory location. Either it can be external RAM or it can be external ROM. DPTR is used. So totally 3 pointer registers we have seen. One is the stack pointer, another one is the program counter, another one is DPTR. Remember, all are pointer register. Stack pointer is a pointer register to the stack memory. Program counter is a pointer register to the internal ROM memory, and DPTR is a pointer register either to the external RAM or to the external ROM. All are pointer memory. Pointer memory ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಎಲ್ಲದರಲ್ಲೂ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ನ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿರುತ್ತದು. And then 8051 is also having different ports, that is port 0, port 1, port 2 and port 3. So all are of size 8 bit. And we can observe that these are the addresses of these registers 80, 90, A0 and B0, and all are bit as well as the byte accessible because star mark is there. All the registers is having star mark. It indicates that each register is either bit accessible or it is byte accessible. So this shows how the register is named. This slot contains the number of bits and this slot contains the byte address. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಬಿಟ್ಸ್, ಇದು ಇದರ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್. So this is about the register structure of 8051 microcontroller. So the same thing has been explained here. So registers of 8051. So whatever I have explained till now, the same is explained in these slides. Registers are used to store the opcodes, operands, address of memory or the IO devices for temporarily. And register structure of 8051 can be treated as a collection of 8 or 16 bit. Either we may have 8 bit registers or we may have 16 bit registers. For example, DPTR, program counter, these are 16 bit, whereas other registers are 8 bit registers. And 8 bit memory locations. Memory location is always 8 bit. So irrespective of the register size, memory is always a 8 bit location, 8 bit memory location. And these registers and the memory locations can be made to operate using the software instruction. So how to use this? This can be used with the help of the software instruction. We can able to access the data, we can able to store the data, we can able to modify the data with the help of the software instructions. Each register except program counter has the internal address of 1 byte address assigned to it. Program counter ಗೆ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬೇರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ಗಳಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಏನಿದೆ ಇಂಟರ್ನಲ್ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಇದೆ. Some registers marked with star are both byte as well as the bit addressable. ಯಾವ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ಗೆ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಇದೆ ಅದು ಬಿಟ್ ಅಡ್ರೆಸಬಲ್ ಕೂಡ ಇದೆ, ಬೈಟ್ ಅಡ್ರೆಸಬಲ್ ಕೂಡ ಇದೆ. ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ವೇರ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫೈ ಎ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಬೈ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಸಿಂಬಾಲಿಕ್ ನೇಮ್ ಆರ್ ಬೋತ್. ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ಸಿಂದ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿನಾರು ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ನೇಮ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿನಾರು ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ಇಫ್ ಐ ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ದ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಎ, ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಎನ ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ಎ ಅಂತ ಬರಿಬೋದು ಇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನಲ್ಲಿ. ಮೂವ್ ಎ ಅಂತ ಬರಿತೀನಿ ನಾನು. ಮೂವ್ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಮೂವ್ ದ ಡೇಟಾ. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ಸಮ್ 40H hash 40H. This instruction indicates that 40H data has to be stored into accumulator register. A is nothing but the accumulator. Accumulator is the another name of register A. ಈ ಡೇಟಾ ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಮೂವ್ ಅಂತ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಎನ ಐದರ್ ಎ ಅಂತ ಬರಿಬೋದು, otherwise you can write the symbolic name, or otherwise you can write its address also. What is the address of register A? See here, E0. E0 is the address of register A. So instead of writing A here, I can write move E0. Move E0, comma hash 40H. So both will do the same function. It will move the data 40H into the accumulator register. So the software instructions specify the register either by its address, either by using address or by using its symbolic name. So if you see any of the registers, it is having symbolic name. TH0 ಅಂತ ಹೆಸರಿದೆ, ಇದರ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಕೂಡ ಇದೆ. PCON ಅಂತ ಹೆಸರಿದೆ, again it is having its address. So either we can use its address or we can use its symbolic name. Symbolic name ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡೋರು ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಅದರ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿನಾದರೂ ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. Both will do the same. And general purpose registers, 8051 has an internal RAM of 128 bytes, out of which 32 bytes are kept aside as a general purpose registers ranging from 00 to 1FH. This is nothing but 00 to 1FH. We have observed that 00 to 1F ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೆ 128 bytes of memory, 128 byte, whereas it is grouped into 4 banks and each bank contains 8 registers. What are the 4 banks? Bank 0, Bank 1, Bank 2 and Bank 3, and 8 registers are R0 to R7. So totally 32 bytes are there. And GPR means general purpose registers. General purpose registers are organized as 4 banks of 8 registers R0 to R7 each. That is, each bank contains 8 1-byte registers R0 through R7. ಒಂದೊಂದು ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಕೂಡ 8 ಬಿಟ್ ಸೈಜ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. 8 ಬಿಟ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೂ ಒಂದೇ, 1 ಬೈಟ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೂ ಒಂದೇ. 1 ಬೈಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ 8 ಬಿಟ್. And the name will be from R0 to R7, register 0 to register 7. And GPRS are addressed as R0 to R7 or 00 to 1FH. Either you can use the symbolic name or you can use its address. You see here, symbolic name 00207, 00207. This is the address, and the symbolic name is R0 to R7. ಈ ಥರನಾದರೂ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. 1F ತನಕ ಯಾಕೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ, ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಅಗೇನ್ ಇಟ್ ರಿಪೀಟ್ಸ್. 1F ವರೆಗೂ ನಮ್ಗೆ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕು ಕೂಡ R0, ಇದರಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕು R1, R2 ಆ ಥರ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಲೈಕ್ ದಟ್ ಅಪ್ ಟು 1F ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಏಬಲ್ ಟು ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ದೀಸ್ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದೀಸ್ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ಸ್, in order to access them as R0 to R7, a particular bank should be chosen in software using D4 and D3 bits of program status word. R0 to R7 ಎಲ್ಲ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲೂ R0 to R7 ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. R0 to R7. For example, if I choose the register R0 for some operation, then the microcontroller should know that this R0 register, whether it belongs to bank 0 or bank 1 or bank 2 or bank 3. How to decide whether this register belongs to which bank? Either to bank 0, bank 1, bank 2 or bank 3. That is decided by the 2 bits available in the PSW register. The bit 3 and bit 4. Bit 3 and bit 4 of PSW register decides which bank has been selected. At a time, we can able to select only one bank, either bank 0, bank 1, bank 2 or bank 3. Only one bank can be selected. So how to decide that? So that is decided by the D3 and D4 bits, third and fourth bit of the program status word. The device defaults to bank 0 after reset. ಡಿವೈಸ್ನ ನೀವು ರಿಸೆಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಅಥವಾ ಮೊದಲನೇ ಸಲ ಡಿವೈಸ್ನ ಆನ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಬೈ ಡಿಫಾಲ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಯಾವ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ? ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ 0 ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಬೈ ಡಿಫಾಲ್ಟ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ 0 ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್. We will discuss how to select the different banks when we shall see the PSW register. But remember that the 2 bits of PSW register will going to decide which bank has to be selected. And then we have the special function registers like several SFR special function registers. This they are denoted by ACC. ACC is nothing but the register A. Here ACC stands for accumulator. Accumulator is the another name of register A. Or we have B register, DPTR data pointer, program status word PSW, IP and IE, that is interrupt priority and interrupt enable, TCON register, SCON, PCON, timer control register, serial control register, power control register, ports. Totally 4 ports are there, each of size 8 bits, or the S buffer register. These are the some of those SFRs which are available that we have already discussed. And these are useful in accessing the IO ports, timers, bar counters, serial ports, power controlling, etc. 16 address in SFR space are both byte and bit addressable. 16 addresses. So totally 16 SFRs ನಮಗೆ ಬೈಟ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಸ್ ಕೂಡ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಮತ್ತು ಬಿಟ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಸ್ ಕೂಡ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಕೆಲವು ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ನಾವು ನೋಡಿದೋ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮಲ್ಲಿ, ಕೆಲವು ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ಸ್ನ ಮಾತ್ರ ನಾವು ಬೈಟನ್ನು ಆಕ್ಸಿಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಮತ್ತು ಬಿಟ್ ಕೂಡ ಆಕ್ಸಿಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. The SFRs can be accessed by their names or by their address ranging from 80 to FFH. This is possible. From 80 to FFH, we can able to access the special function registers. And some of the addresses from 80 to FFH are not defined. 80 to FFH ಏನು ಮೆಮೊರಿ ಲೊಕೇಶನ್ ಇದೆ, ಆ ಮೆಮೊರಿ ಲೊಕೇಶನಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲವು ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಡಿಫೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ. ದೇ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಡಿಫೈನ್ಡ್. ಅಟೆಂಪ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಯೂಸ್ ಸಚ್ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಮೇ ಕಾಸ್ ದ ಅನ್ಪ್ರೆಡಿಕ್ಟಬಲ್ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್. ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಮೆಮೊರಿ ಲೊಕೇಶನ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಟೇಕ್ ದಿಸ್ ಮೆಮೊರಿ ಲೊಕೇಶನ್. Let us assume that this memory location is not defined from 80 to, for example, 95H. Let us assume that 95H is not defined. So in the program, if you use 95, then it gives some error. It gives some unpredictable result because you are accessing the memory location which is not at all defined. And these are the special function registers. We can observe here how the special function registers are there. So these are the special function registers. So bit addressable, TMOD, TCON, TL0. So special function registers are shown here in this diagram. So these are the bit addresses of each one. Bit address, each is having 1 bit. So totally if you count, totally 8 bits are there. And the byte address of this one will be nothing but 80. If you use 80, then this is the byte address. Or we can use bit address also, like this is 80, 81, 82, 83 and so on up to This is 87. So this is the last memory location, 87. After 7, what is the next value? 88. This is 88. 88, 89, 90. After 90, we will be having 9A. Sorry, after 88, this is 89. After 89, it is 8A, 8B, 8C, 8D, 8E, and 8F. So this is how it is there. And then after 8F, it is 90, 90, 91, 92, and so on up to 97. So the addresses are always in hexadecimal. So these memory location indicates the last memory location. D7 is the address of this memory. EF is the address of this memory location. Like that, the last memory location address is given here. These are the different special function registers which are available. And we have discussed math register A and B. The accumulator, register A is also called as accumulator, and it is used for the arithmetic and the logical operations. Arithmetic operations matte logical. Arithmetic means addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. These are arithmetic. Whereas the logical operations are AND operation, OR operation, XOR, XNOR, inverting, rotating, shifting. All these are called as logical operations. And it is used as a destination for all the addition and subtraction operation. Destination ಅಂತಂದ್ರೇನು, ಎರಡು ನಂಬರ್ನ ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ಮೇಲೆ, ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಇಫ್ ಐ ಟೇಕ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ನಂಬರ್ ವೈ, ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಆ್ಯಡಿಂಗ್ ದೀಸ್ ಟು ನಂಬರ್ಸ್, ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ಯೂಮ್ ದಟ್ ದ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಝೆಡ್. Then this should be, then the result should be stored in the accumulator register. Result accumulator ಬರಬೇಕು. Then accumulator is called as a destination. ಅಡಿಷನ್ ಆದಮೇಲೆ ಬರೋ ರಿಸಲ್ಟು ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಡೆಸ್ಟಿನೇಷನ್ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ಇಫ್ ಐ ಯೂಸ್ ದ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್ ಮೂವ್, ಆರ್ I will use the instruction add. Add instruction is there, which will perform the addition of two numbers. Add A comma B. If I use the instruction add A comma B, then content of A is added with the content of B, and the result is stored in the accumulator register. So that's why it is called as destination register. Register A is called as destination. And for all the addition and the subtraction operation, accumulator should be is used as a destination register. And for logical operations, this is used as a source or destination. Logical operation ಮಾಡ್ತಾ accumulatorನ source ಆಗಾದರೂ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, destination ಆದರೂ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕೇಸ್, ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಸೋರ್ಸ್ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್. ರೈಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಇರೋದು ಸೋರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಇರೋದು ಡೆಸ್ಟಿನೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಸೋರ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಡೆಸ್ಟಿನೇಷನ್. ಎರಡು ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಆದಮೇಲೆ ಡೆಸ್ಟಿನೇಷನಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು. ಬಟ್ ಲಾಜಿಕಲ್ ಆಪ್ರೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಅಕ್ಯುಮುಲೇಟರ್ನ ಸೋರ್ಸಲ್ಲಾದರೂ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಡೆಸ್ಟಿನೇಷನ್ ಆದರೂ ಆಗಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಬಟ್ ಅರ್ಥಮೆಟಿಕ್ ಆಪ್ರೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ, ಅಡಿಷನ್ ಮತ್ತು ಸಬ್ಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಅಕ್ಯುಮುಲೇಟರ್ನ ಡೆಸ್ಟಿನೇಷನ್ನಲ್ಲೇ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ ಸಮ್ ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕ್ ಆಪರೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್, ಕಾಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್, ರೊಟೇಟ್, ಸ್ವ್ಯಾಪ್, ಫಾರ್ ವಿಚ್ ದ ಆಪರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಮಸ್ಟ್ ರಿಸೈಡ್ ಇನ್ ಎ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಎಲ್ಲದನ್ನು ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ, 0 0 ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ. ಕಾಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ವಿ ನೋ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಝೀರೋಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಒನ್ಸ್. ರೊಟೇಟ್ ಆಪರೇಷನ್ ಐದರ್ ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಆರ್ ರೈಟ್ ರೊಟೇಷನ್. ಸ್ವ್ಯಾಪಿಂಗ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಚೇಂಜಿಂಗ್. ಈ ಥರ ಆಪರೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಡೇಟಾ ಮಸ್ಟ್ ಬಿ ಲೊಕೇಟೆಡ್ ಇನ್ ಅಕ್ಯುಮುಲೇಟರ್ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದ ಬಿ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಈಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಫಾರ್ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಡಿವಿಷನ್ ಅಲಾಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ದ ಅಕ್ಯುಮುಲೇಟರ್. ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಮತ್ತು ಡಿವಿಷನ್ ಆಪರೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಅಕ್ಯುಮುಲೇಟರ್ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಯಾವ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? ಬಿ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಬಿ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬೇರೆ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ಗಳಿದ್ದಾವೆ. R0 to R7 ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಕೂಡ ಇದೆ. ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಯೂಸ್ ದ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ R0 to R7. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಪಾಸಿಬಲ್. R0 to R7. For example, if I use the instruction move A comma R0, it means that the content of register R0 ಅಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಕಂಟೆಂಟ್ ಅಕ್ಯುಮುಲೇಟರ್ಗೆ ಬರಬೇಕು. ದಿಸ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್ ಈಸ್ ಪಾಸಿಬಲ್. ವೆರಾಸ್ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಡಿವಿಷನ್, ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಮತ್ತು ಡಿವಿಷನ್ ಆಪರೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ R0 to R7 ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡೋಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಎ ಮತ್ತು ಬಿ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. For multiplication, we cannot use this. If I use the multiplication instruction, MUL, so the instruction should be MUL A comma B, or for the division operation, DIV, division DIV A comma B. These two are the registers that must be used for the multiplication as well as for the division operation. And the register B can also be used to store the data. Temporary data storage ಕೂಡ register B ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. And then we have IP and IE register. So interrupts can be enabled or disabled under program control by altering the control bits in the interrupt enable register. Interrupt again we shall discuss in the future class. ಇಂಟರಪ್ಟ್ನ ಎನೇಬಲ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಐ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋಂಥ ಫ್ಲ್ಯಾಗ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಎನೇಬಲ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ. ಇಂಟರಪ್ಟ್ನ ಡಿಸೇಬಲ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅಂದರೆ ಆವಾಗಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಐನಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲವು ಬಿಟ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಅಗೇನ್ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಏಬಲ್ ಟು ಸೆಟ್ ದ ಇಂಟರಪ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರಿಯಾರಿಟಿ ಬೈ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ದ IP ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಇಂಟರಪ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರಿಯಾರಿಟಿ. Then we have the timer and counter registers. So we have two timers. I already told you T0 is there and T0 and T1. These two are the timer registers which are divided into two 8-bit registers. For example, TL0, TH0, TL1 and TH1. So these two are for timer 0 and these two are for timer 1. So 8051 has two 16-bit up counters or the timers called as T0 and T1, and these counters are divided into two 8-bit registers called timer low and timer high, for timer 0 as well as for the timer 1 register. And timer control registers Tmod and Tcon. Now in order to control these timer registers T0 and T1, we are going to use the two control registers, and the two control registers are called Tmod, that is the timer mode control register, and a Tcon, that is the timer bar counter control register it is. So we will come to know what are the functions of these two registers in the timer section. And for the serial transmission of the data, we are going to use three registers called SCON, SBUF and PCON. So 8051 communicates with the other devices by sending and receiving the data bits serially using the serial data communication circuit. And the register SBUF is used to hold the data. ನೀವು ಯಾವ ಡೇಟಾ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಮಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತೀರೋ ಆ ಡೇಟಾನ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಮಿಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮುಂಚೆ ಅದು ಮೊದಲಿಗೆ SBUF ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರಲ್ಲಿ ಇರಬೇಕು. The data should be present in the SBUF register. Then only you can able to transmit the data. SBUF is physically two registers. ಸೊ ಫಿಸಿಕಲ್ ಆಗಿ SBUF ಅಂತಂದ್ರೇನು ಒಂದು ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಎರಡು ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ರಿಯಲ್ ಆಗಿ SBUF ಅನ್ನೋದು ಎರಡು SBUF ಇರುತ್ತೆ. One SBUF, another one is called as second SBUF. So both are serial buffer registers and both are having the same address, but remember that the address of both the registers will be nothing but 99H only, the address. And one is write only, is used to hold the data to be transmitted out of 8051. ಎರಡು SBUF ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು SBUF ಏನು ರೈಟ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಬರಿಬೋದಷ್ಟೇ. ಯಾವಾಗ ನಾವೇನಾದರೂ ಡೇಟಾನ ಮೈಕ್ರೋ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲರಿಂದ ಬೇರೆ ಡಿವೈಸ್ಗೆ ಕಳಿಸ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಅಸ್ಯೂಮ್ ದಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಅವರ್ ಮೈಕ್ರೋ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲರ್ 8051 and this is the external device, some X device it is. This is external device. Now the data has to be transmitted from microcontroller to external device. So to transmit this data we should have some register. That register is called as SBUF register. ಸೊ ಯಾವ ಡೇಟಾ ನಾವು ಕಳಿಸ್ಬೇಕಿರುತ್ತೋ ಅದನ್ನ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು, ನಾವು SBUF ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಆ SBUF ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ದೆನ್ ದ ಡೇಟಾ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಮಿಟೆಡ್. ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ರೈಟ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಬರಿಬೋದು ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ನೀವು ಕಳಿಸ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಈ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಬರಿಬೋದು. ಒನ್ ಈಸ್ ರೈಟ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಈಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಟು ಹೋಲ್ಡ್ ದ ಡೇಟಾ ಟು ಬಿ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಮಿಟೆಡ್. ಯಾವ ಡೇಟಾ ನಾವು ಕಳಿಸ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಇರ್ತೀವೋ ಅದನ್ನು ಈ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಹಾಕಬೇಕು. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದ ಡೇಟಾ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಮಿಟೆಡ್ ವೈಯಾ TXT, that is the transmit data which is available in the port 3. TXT ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಪಿನ್ ಇದೆ ನಮಗೆ 8051 which is available in the port 3 of 8051 microcontroller. You can see the port 3 of 8051 microcontroller. You can observe what is the pin number of this. ಸೊ ಇದು TXT ಪಿನ್, ಡೇಟಾ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಮಿಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಪಿನ್ನು. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿರುತ್ತೆ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್, SBUF ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್. ಇದು SBUF ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಡೇಟಾ ಇದ್ರೊಳಗೆ ಬಂದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಇದರಿಂದ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಮಿಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಯಾವ ಪಿನ್ನಿಂದ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಮಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, TXT ಪಿನ್ನಿಂದ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಮಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಅದರ್ ಈಸ್ ರೀಡ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಹೋಲ್ಡ್ಸ್ ರಿಸೀವ್ ಡೇಟಾ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟರ್ನಲ್ ಸೋರ್ಸ್ ವೈಯಾ RxD ಪಿನ್. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಇದೆ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ SBUF, ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ SBUF ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಈಸ್ ಅವೈಲಬಲ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ರೀಡ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ. ಮೈಕ್ರೋ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲರ್ ಇದನ್ನು ರೀಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಇದಕ್ಕೇನು ಬರೆಯೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಇದು ಬರೀ ಬರೆಯೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾತ್ರ, ಇದು ಬರೀ ರೀಡ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾತ್ರ. Whereas the second SBUF register is read only, which will going to accept the data from the external device. ಹೊರಗಡೆಯಿಂದ ಡಿವೈಸಿಂದ ಬರೋ ಡೇಟಾನ ಎಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಇದು. ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಪಿನ್? ಪಿನ್ ಈಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ದ RxD ಪಿನ್. ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ದ ಪಿನ್ ಅವೈಲಬಲ್ ಇನ್ ದ port 3 of 8051. For the transmission we are going to use TXD pin. For the reception we are going to use RxD pin. These two are the pins, whereas these two are the buffer registers, that is the storage register. Both mutually exclusive registers use the address 99. ಎರಡು ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ 99 ಹೆಚ್ಚಿರುತ್ತೆ. Simultaneously reception and transmission is not possible. Either we can receive or we can able to transmit the data here. And the register SCON, that is a serial control, controls the data communication, and PCON controls the data rates. Serial control controls the data transmission. ಯಾವಾಗ ಡೇಟಾ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಮಿಟ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು, how many bits has to be transmitted, what is the rate, all these are controlled by using these two registers. To control the rates ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು 1 ಸೆಕೆಂಡಿಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಡೇಟಾ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೋಗ್ಬೋದು. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ವಿ ನೋ ದಟ್ 4800 ಡೇಟಾ ಹೋಗಬೇಕು, ಅಥವಾ 9600 ಡೇಟಾ ಹೋಗಬೇಕು, 1200, ಲೈಕ್ ದಟ್. ಟೋಟಲ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಬಿಟ್ಸ್ ದಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಮಿಟೆಡ್ ಇನ್ 1 second. This is decided by this is called as data rates, and it is controlled by the PCON register, that is called as power control register. And other controllings like how to store the data, when to transmit the data, when to receive the data, all these are controlled by the SCON register, that is called as serial control register. So these two are the control registers for this SBuffer register, where SBuffer holds the data for temporary time. Then we have the program status word. This is one of the important register of 8051. So we know that PSW is a 8-bit register. 8 bits are there in PSW, program status word. I already told you that the program status word always holds the status of some operation, some arithmetic operation or the logical operations. Its status will be stored. Result store agalla, result in a status store agutte idrolage. So if you see the structure of program status word, see totally 8 bits are there. So the first one is the carry, first flag. So this is the 0th bit here. This is the 0th bit. This is the bit 1, bit 2, bit 3, 4, 5, 6, and this is bit 7. So totally 0 to 7. Totally it is 8-bit register. So 7th bit is the CY, that is nothing but the carry bit, carry flag. Carry flag ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? See here. PSW is a bit addressable 8-bit register which contains 1 bit flag to store the status of the operational register. So they have taken, okay, we shall explain from the bit 0, that is the parity flag. So if you observe here, this is P bit, that is called as parity flag. So PF is set to 1 if the accumulator contains the odd number of ones, otherwise it is cleared. ಈ ಬಿಟ್ ಯಾವಾಗ 1 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇದು ಪ್ಯಾರಿಟಿ ಫ್ಲಾಗು, ಇದೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ 1 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾವಾಗ 1 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಇಫ್ ದ ಅಕ್ಯುಮುಲೇಟರ್ ಕಂಟೈನ್ಸ್ ಆಡ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಒನ್ಸ್. ಅಕ್ಯುಮುಲೇಟರ್ ಈಸ್ ವಾಟ್? ಅಕ್ಯುಮುಲೇಟರ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ 8-bit ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್. 8 bits register ಇದು. ಸೊ 8 bit, ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಟೇಕ್ 0 1 1 0 1 1 1 0. ಈ ಥರ 8 bits ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. ನಾವು ಯು ಕೌಂಟ್ ದ ಟೋಟಲ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಒನ್ಸ್. 1 2 3 4 5. ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಒನ್ಸ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ? 5 ಒನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. ನಾವು 5 ಈಸ್ ಎ ಆಡ್ ನಂಬರ್. ಆಡ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಒನ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಈ ಬಿಟ್ 1 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಈವನ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಒನ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಈ ಬಿಟ್ 0 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಸೇಸ್. PF is set to 1 if the accumulator contains odd number of ones, otherwise it is cleared. ಇದೇನು ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಪ್ಯಾರಿಟಿ ಫ್ಲ್ಯಾಗು ಅಕ್ಯುಮುಲೇಟರ್ಲಿರೋ ಡೇಟಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಆಡ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಒನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆಯೋ ಅಥವಾ ಈವನ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಒನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆಯೋ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ದ ಪ್ಯಾರಿಟಿ ಬಿಟ್ ಈಸ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದ ಬಿಟ್ 1 ಈಸ್, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅನ್ಡಿಫೈನ್ಡ್, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ರಿಸರ್ವ್ಡ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಫ್ಯೂಚರ್ ಯೂಸ್, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಡಿಫೈನ್ಡ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬಿಟ್ 2 ಈಸ್ ದ ಓವರ್ಫ್ಲೋ ಫ್ಲ್ಯಾಗ್. Bit 2 is the overflow flag. So overflow flag is set if an overflow occurs, that is the result is out of range. ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರು 2 ನಂಬರ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ನಂಬರ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ನಂಬರ್ ವೈ ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ದೆನ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಗೆಟ್ ಸಮ್ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ ಝೆಡ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಔಟ್ ಆಫ್ ರೇಂಜ್ ವಿಚ್ ಕೆನಾಟ್ ಬಿ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಗಿವನ್ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್, ವಿ ಆರ್ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ 8 bits and some of the registers are 16 bit. If the result is more than 16 bit, then that cannot be stored in a one single bit register. Or if after doing some operation, addition or subtraction operation, you may get some wrong answer, then the overflow flag will be set to 1. So if the result is out of range, or if some error in the result, then overflow flag will be set to 1. Otherwise it's set to 0. 0 ಇದೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ overflow ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು. Next, the next two bits, that is bit 3 and bit 4. I already told you bit 3 and bit 4 of PSW is used to select the particular bank. ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ನ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. PSW 3 ಮತ್ತು PSW 4, ಅಂದರೆ ಥರ್ಡ್ ಬಿಟ್ ಮತ್ತು ಫೋರ್ತ್ ಬಿಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ PSW register. We call this as RS0 and RS1. That is nothing but register bank select 0, register bank select 1. So based on these two bits, the different banks will be selected. Now how to select the different banks, you can observe here RS1 and RS0. If both are 0, 0, bank 0 is selected. This is by default, bank 0 is selected. If this is 0 and this is 1, bank 1 is selected. If it is 1, 0, bank 2 is selected. And if it is 1, 1, bank 3 is selected. So this is how we can able to select the different banks by altering the bit status of RS0 and RS1. That is the third bit and the fourth bit of the PSW register. And then we have the fifth bit, that is nothing but F0. So this is the general purpose status flag, which is not used in 8051. This flag is also reserved for the future use. And then we have auxiliary carry AC, that is the sixth bit. Auxiliary carry is there. What is the function of the auxiliary carry? See here. Auxiliary carry flag is set if there is a carry out of third bit during the addition or a borrow by bit 3 during the subtraction. So this we have already explained in the digital electronics class. If you see the videos which are available in the digital electronics, you will come to know how the auxiliary carry flag will be set. So when there is a carry out of bit 3 during the addition ಮಾಡುವಾಗ carry 3 ಇಂದ ಏನಾದರೂ carry ಬಂದರೆ, bit 3 ಇಂದ ಏನಾದರೂ carry ಬಂದರೆ, then this particular flag will be set. For example, if I use 1 0 1 0 1 1 1 0 0 1 0 1 1 0 0 1. So whenever you are going to add these two numbers, if there is a carry from here to here, 0th bit, first bit, second bit, third bit, if there is a carry from third bit to fourth bit, then auxiliary carry flag will be set to 1. That is what it says. Auxiliary carry flag is set if there is a carry out of bit 3 during an addition operation ಮಾಡ್ತಾ third bit ಇಂದ ಏನಾದರೂ carry ಬಂದರೆ, then auxiliary carry flag will be set to 1. Whereas in the subtraction, a borrow bit by bit 3 during the subtraction, bit 3 ಇಂದ ಏನಾದರೂ borrow ಇದ್ದರೆ subtraction operation ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ, instead of doing addition, if there is a subtraction operation, then this indicates that a borrow by bit 3 during the subtraction. Bit 3 ಇಂದ, ಈಗ for example bit 3 ಏನಾದರೂ 0 ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ, then we cannot subtract 1 from 0. Then we need to take one borrow from here to here. This is called as borrow. We need to take borrow from this bit to this bit. Then at that case, auxiliary carry will be set to 1. Either during the addition or during the subtraction, this will be set to 1 when there is a carry from bit 3, or when there is a borrow to the bit 3, then auxiliary carry flag will be set to 1. This flag is used exclusively for BCD arithmetic, BCD operation, that is binary coded decimal. While using the binary coded decimal operation, the auxiliary carry flag will be extensively used. And the last flag is carry flag. So this is the carry flag we are having. And carry flag, an addition of an addition causes carry flag to be set if there is a carry out of MSB. ಅಂದರೆ 2 ನಂಬರ್ನ ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಆಕ್ಸಿಲರಿ ಕ್ಯಾರಿ ಯಾವಾಗ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, 3rd ಬಿಟ್ಟಿಂದ ಏನಾದರೂ ಬಂದರೆ. ಕ್ಯಾರಿ ಫ್ಲಾಗ್ ಯಾವಾಗ ಸೆಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ 7th ಬಿಟ್ಟಿಂದ ಏನಾದರೂ ಕ್ಯಾರಿ ಬಂದರೆ. ಸೊ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ದ ಅಡಿಷನ್, ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಇಫ್ ಬೋತ್ ದ ಬಿಟ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ 1 1, ಇಲ್ಲೂ 1 ಇದ್ದರೆ ದೆನ್ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ 1 + 1, 1 + 1 is 0 along with a carry 1. So 1 carry you are going to get. So if there is a carry out from 7th bit, this is the 7th bit, 0th bit, 1st bit, 2nd, 3rd, 4, 5, 6 and 7th. If there is a carry from 7th bit to the next bit, then carry flag will be set to 1. That is during the addition operation ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ. And a subtraction causes it to be set if a borrow is needed. Subtraction ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವಾಗ ಇದು ಸೆಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದರೂ 0 ಇದ್ದರೆ ನಮಗೆ 0 ಇಂದ 1ನ್ನ ಕಳೆಯೋದಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. We cannot subtract 1 from 0. Then what is required? 1 borrow is required from the higher bits. So this is called as borrow. So during subtraction, when the 7th bit requires a borrow for its subtraction operation, then the carry flag will be set to 1. So carry flag during the subtraction operation will be used as a borrow, but the flag remains the same. Borrow ಬೇರೆ flag ಇಲ್ಲ, ಇದನ್ನೇ borrowಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. Then the carry flag or the borrow flag will be set to 1 during the subtraction operation. So this is how the program status word can able to store the different status of the arithmetic or some logical operations. And the data pointer is a 16-bit register. It is operated as 2 8-bit registers, DPH and DPL. Total 16-bit register ಇದು, ಅದನ್ನು 2 8-bit register ಆಗಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. DPTR is used for addressing the off-chip ROM and RAM. ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ದಂಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟರ್ನಲ್ ರಾಮ್, ಆಫ್ ಚಿಪ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟರ್ನಲ್ ರಾಮ್ ಮತ್ತು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟರ್ನಲ್ ರ್ಯಾಮ್ನ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಡೇಟಾನ ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಅದರ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಬೇಕು. ಅದರ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಡೇಟಾ ಪಾಯಿಂಟರ್ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಯೂಸ್? ಮೂವ್ ಸಿ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಮೂವ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಯೂಸ್. ಹಿಯರ್ ಸಿ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಕೋಡ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟರ್ನಲ್ ಮೆಮೊರಿ. ಹಿಯರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್ ಈಸ್ ಯೂಶಲಿ ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಟು ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ದ ಡೇಟಾ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್ ಈಸ್ ಯೂಶಲಿ ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಟು ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ದ ಕೋಡ್ ಮೆಮೊರಿ. ರಾಮ್ ಮೆಮೊರಿನ ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಯೂಶಲಿ ಮೂವ್ ಸಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ರಾಮ್ ಮೆಮೊರಿ ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ. ಆ ಥರ ಮೂವ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಯಾವಾಗ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂದರೆ ರ್ಯಾಮ್ ಮೆಮೊರಿ ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಮೂವ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಬಟ್ ಬೋತ್ ಆರ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟರ್ನಲ್ ಮೆಮೊರಿ. ಸಿನ್ಸ್ DPTR is a 16-bit register, 64 kilobyte of ROM or RAM can be addressed. I told you that the total size of the memory that can be connected to a microcontroller is decided by the number of address lines. Now in the DPTR, it is a 16-bit register, means 16 different locations can be accessed. That is nothing but 2 to the power of 16. 2 to the power of 16 is approximately equal to 64 kilobyte. 64 kilobyte can be accessed. So 64 kilobyte of ROM connect ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೋದು ಮತ್ತು 64 kilobyte of RAM connect ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೋದು. Totally 64 plus 64, it is 128 kilobyte. So total ನಾವು 128 kilobyte of ಮೆಮೊರಿನ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೋದು. 64 ROM, 64 RAM. And then we have stack pointer. I told you already, the stack pointer is a section. Stack memory is a section of RAM memory and is used to store the data or address temporarily. ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮೆಮೊರಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಅಲ್ಲ, ನಮಗೇನು ರ್ಯಾಮ್ ಮೆಮೊರಿ ಇದೆ, ರ್ಯಾಮ್ ಮೆಮೊರಿನಲ್ಲೇ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಪಾರ್ಟನ್ನು ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ ಅಂತ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ದ ರ್ಯಾಮ್. ದ ಎಂಟೈರ್ ಮೆಮೊರಿ ಇಸ್ ದ ರ್ಯಾಮ್ ಮೆಮೊರಿ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದಿಸ್ ಔಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಂಟೈರ್ ಮೆಮೊರಿ ಸರ್ಟೈನ್ ಮೆಮೊರಿ ಇಸ್ ಟೇಕನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಎ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮೆಮೊರಿ. ಇದನ್ನು ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮೆಮೊರಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟರ್ ಈಸ್ ಆನ್ 8-bit ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ ದಟ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಟು ದ ಟಾಪ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಕ್. ಪಾಯಿಂಟರ್ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಇದು ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮೆಮೊರಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಇದ್ರ ಟಾಪಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಟಾಪ್ ಮೆಮೊರಿ. ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ ದ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟರ್ ಈಸ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟಿಂಗ್. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಮೆಮೊರಿ ಲೊಕೇಶನ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಸ್ಲಾಟ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಮೆಮೊರಿ ಸ್ಲಾಟ್, ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಮೆಮೊರಿ ಸ್ಲಾಟ್, ಥರ್ಡ್ ಮೆಮೊರಿ ಸ್ಲಾಟ್, ಲೈಕ್ ದಟ್. ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ ದ SP is always pointing to the top slot of the stack memory location. So SP is a pointer register to the stack memory. Reset initializes the stack pointer to 07H. ರಿಸೆಟ್ ಆದಮೇಲೆ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟರ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ 07H ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂದರೆ 07H ಮೆಮೊರಿ ಲೊಕೇಶನ್ಗೆ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. 07H ಮೆಮೊರಿ ಲೊಕೇಶನ್ಗೆ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟರು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ 07H ಮೆಮೊರಿ ಲೊಕೇಶನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೇನು? ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ದ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ R7 ಆಫ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ 0. ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ 0ದು R7 ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರು 07H. You can clarify that. We see, observe here 07H. So 07H is the register R7, address of the register R7. So by default, stack pointer is always pointing to this memory location. 07 ಗೆ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ by default. Means after the reset. So once you turn on the microcontroller, so the stack pointer is always pointing to 07H. That is the register 7 of the bank 0. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ. Next is the program counter. Program counter is a 16-bit register that contains a memory address, that is the ROM memory address of the instruction currently being executed. Internal RAM ಮೆಮೊರಿಗೆ ಪಾಯಿಂಟರ್ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರು. ಇಂಟರ್ನಲ್ ROM ಮೆಮೊರಿ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ ನಮಗೆ? 4 KB ಇದೆ ಇಂಟರ್ನಲ್ ROM. ಸೊ ಈ ಇಂಟರ್ನಲ್ ROMನ ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರದ್ದು. ಟು ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಎನಿ ಸ್ಲಾಟ್, ಎನಿ ಮೆಮೊರಿ ಲೊಕೇಶನ್, ಐ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್. And this is pointed by what? This is pointed by the program counter. Program counter ಈ ಮೆಮೊರಿ ಲೊಕೇಶನ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. Next, during the execution of the current instruction, the content of the address of the program counter are updated to correspond to the address of the next instruction to be executed. PC are updated corresponding to the address of the next instruction to be executed. ಸೊ ಪಿ ಸಿನ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ? ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಫೆಚ್ಡ್. ಪಿ ಸಿ ನಾವೇನಾದ್ರು ಇದರಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್ನ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಕೌಂಟರ್ ಅದ್ರ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್ನ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಇದನ್ನು ತಗೊಂಡಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಅದ್ರ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್. ಸೊ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸೇ ದಟ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಕೌಂಟರ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಹೋಲ್ಡ್ಸ್ ದ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಫೆಚ್ಡ್. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಕೌಂಟರ್. ಬಟ್ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ದಟ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಕೌಂಟರ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ಪಾಯಿಂಟರ್ ಮೆಮೊರಿ ಟು ದ internal ROM memory. Internal ROM. It is customary to say that program counter points to the instruction that is to be fetched from the memory. Memory ಇಂದ ಫೆಚ್ ಮಾಡೋ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್ನ ಫೆಚ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಇದನ್ನು. When 8051 is powered up, the program counter is loaded with 0000H. ಇದು 0000H ಅಂತಂದರೆ that is the last memory location. 000H. We know the address of internal ROM will be 000 to FFF. 000 to FFF. This is the address. This is the address of the internal ROM. So 000 to FFH. So by default ಎಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ? 000Hಗೆ. Either you can write 3 zeros or you can also write 4 zeros. Either you write 3 zeros and 4 zeros, it remains the same. And FFF can also be written as 0FFF. So if you write 0 before any number, there is no change in its magnitude. So FFF, 0FFF. So 0000 to 0FFH. So the totally 4 kilobyte of memory is there. So by default, it is always pointing to the starting memory location, which is nothing but the 000H or 40H. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಬೈ ಡಿಫಾಲ್ಟ್ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಕಂಟ್ರೋಲರ್ನ ಆನ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ. Next, so totally 4 ports are available, P0 to P3, and each port is of 8-bit. Each port is having is a 8-bit register, 8-bit register, and each port pin is having 8 pins. Each port is having 8 pins. These are byte addressable as well as the bit addressable. ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಕೂಡ ಎಂಟೈರ್ 8 ಬಿಟ್ಸ್ನ ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಬಿಟ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಕೂಡ ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. Therefore all the ports are both byte as well as the bit addressable. Each port is of size 8 bits. 8 bits means 8 pins are available in each port. So totally 8 into 4. So totally 32 pins are available. 32 IO pins. 32 IO pins are available here. IO pins for the input output operation. 4 ಪೋರ್ಟ್ಗಳಿದೆ, ಒಂದೊಂದು ಪೋರ್ಟಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ 8 ಪಿನ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಎ 8-bit ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್. Okay, coming to the summary of this session. In this session we have learned the register structure of 8051. Thank you.